Hello, this is Naeem Aslam, Chief Market Analyst at TerraTrade, and good morning to you folks. Today is Monday, and that means we'll have to have a deeper look into the markets. We really need to understand what are the factors that are really likely to move the markets higher. But as always, it is important that I put this disclaimer out that nothing can be perceived as an advice in this particular video. Now, when we look at the European markets, right now, I'm seeing markets are trading pretty much to the upside. So what does that mean? That means that DAX, which is your German index, the CAC, which is your French index, and IBEX, which is your Spanish index, they are all trading to the upside. And then you also have your European indices such as Stock 50, Stock 600, they are also trading to the upside, maintaining their upward trend. Now, of course, the question is that why are we seeing this upward trend? Why the markets are moving higher? The reason for that is that we had very strong economic numbers out of China. If you look at the third quarter's Chinese GDP number, they indicate that the second biggest economy of the world, meaning China, has recovered a lot of its losses, which were triggered because of the coronavirus. Now, of course, if the second biggest economy of the world has recovered a lot of losses, investors are thinking that okay, it will also have a spillover effect for the rest of the economies as well, for the rest of the countries as well, and then we should see a boost in these economies as well in terms of the economic activity. So for that reason, we're seeing this upward momentum. So in simple terms, what you could do potentially today is you can look to buy the FTSE 100, you can look to buy the CAC, the Stock 50, or Stock 600, or the DAX index, as all of them are moving higher, and we're still very much in the early hours of the trading. The similar sort of a price action can also be seen for the US markets as well. And what are those US markets? That is your Dow Jones Index, your S&P 500, and of course your Nasdaq 100 as well. Now, the futures for these ones are trading to the upside, just like how the European futures are. So once again, you can buy now, or you can wait for the cash market to open, which will be at 2:30 p.m. UK time when the US markets will open, and then you can buy them over there. Otherwise, you can trade the futures now, which are tradable pretty much 24 hours a day, pretty much as I said. Now, what is moving the US markets higher is because of the conversation over the weekend that had between the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who is the one particular person on one side of the aisle, and then the other person on the other side is Steven Mnuchin, the US Treasury Secretary. Now, they had a lot of conversation about the second stimulus package, and remember, it is a conversation around the second stimulus package which has been very much driving the markets up and down during the last week. Now there's a lot of optimism that Donald Trump wants a much bigger stimulus package than what the Democrats are even talking about. Of course, the US elections are only around the corner, less than 2 weeks left, so big stimulus package is very much likely to help the stock market, meaning the stock markets will be likely to move higher. Again, as I said, the US futures are up by 150 points, so even if you buy them today, and then if the US stimulus package becomes approved, it is very likely for these stocks to move higher. But if it doesn't, the opposite can really happen as well. So that could be an opportunity to profit quickly, or just go on the other side and start selling the markets. But overall, when we look at the sentiment, it is very positive. And despite all of this, gold prices, which is very much of your risk of asset, meaning when traders do not like to trade equities, they trade gold, or sometimes they also trade gold because the momentum in both in risk on and risk off. Your risk off is your gold, and risk on in your equities or stocks. They both tend to move in the same direction. Nonetheless, I'm seeing positive price action for gold prices as well, which is also moving higher. All right, that's all for today, and I'll see you guys next time.